Hey, what's poppin', everybody? All right, NFL futures bet. Let's get right into it, man. Let's not mess around. Let's not waste any time here. Disclaimer right at the beginning. I am betting all of these futures bets on BetMGM. I'm not promoting BetMGM. I'm not saying use BetMGM. It's the only way I can legally do these futures bets in the state of Mississippi is through this BetMGM app. So that's the one I use it. You guys don't have to use this app. You guys can use whatever app you guys want to use where you can place these kind of bets. But for me, I have to use BetMGM. All right, for starters, I'm going to give you guys my best division parlay. This is the parlay I think are the 5 best teams that are locks to win their division that I think if you throw them into a parlay, you're going to get crazy value and you can hit a big winner at the end of the season once these guys win their division. All right, so first off, in order, these are also in order of the teams I think, from my most favorite down to my least favorite, even though they're all my favorites. We'll start out with the Bills here. They're the second heaviest favorite to win their division behind the Bucks at minus 225 straight up. I think they're just the best team in their division by far when it comes to, you're looking down the roster. I mean, they got the best quarterback, they got the best wide receiving core, they've got the best defense, maybe the best offensive line maybe behind the Patriots. They're just, when you're looking at the roster straight across, they've got the best division or the best team in that division. The other teams in the division outside of, the Dolphins adding Tyreek Hill, they really didn't do much. I don't know why people think the Jets are going to be better. You can't just add a bunch of rookies to your team and think your team's going to be better. The Jets aren't going to be any better than they have been in the past. The Jets are still going to be a bad team like they have been for, my entire life pretty much. So I'm thinking the Bills are going to be the best lock of all division winners, honestly, when it comes down to it. So Bills are my favorite at that first selection for this parlay. Next up, we'll head over to the NFC East, and we're going to pick a team that odds changed this weekend. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles next up at plus 130. Because of that Tyron Smith injury, I have a feeling that's why Vegas changed it. Just a week ago, the Eagles were second favorite in this division to win behind the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys, so Vegas has to make them the favorite up until that last injury happened. I don't know why people still think the Cowboys have a shot. They lost so much and regained nothing. The Eagles, who already made the playoffs last year, got better. They drafted way better. They added pieces. They made trades. The Eagles got way better. The Cowboys lost Randy Gregory, Amari Cooper, a bunch of their receivers are injured. They just lost their best offensive lineman. They're a mess right now. Plus, Mike McCarthy is still their coach. I don't know why people think the Cowboys are going to have a good year. They're going to have a really bad year. Again, like most of my life, they've had really bad years. And I really like the Eagles to win that division straight up, and you can get them at plus 130 value. Next up, we'll head back over to the AFC, and we'll go ahead and take the Baltimore Ravens at plus 145. Again, another team that's been juiced heavily since the beginning of the season. The beginning of the offseason, when they first dropped these division winner lines, I think the Ravens were like plus 185. So Vegas is slowly starting to think, okay, the Ravens are probably going to win this division, as they should. A year ago, 8-3 through 12 weeks, crushing the division, easily had the division wrapped up until, everything fall apart, which is what happens sometimes, the wheels fall off with all the injuries they had last year. The thing that really sells me at getting the Ravens, I know people are going to think because I'm a Ravens fan, I'm just taking the Ravens. It's not really that. When you're looking at the other teams in the division, right, Browns are probably going to be a mess for half the season. Steelers, we're going to see what we can get out of Mitch Trubisky. I think he's going to have a better year than a lot of people think, but we'll see what they can get out of the Steelers. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, okay? I get it. They made the Super Bowl. Great. You understand what that means now for the Cincinnati Bengals. They finished as the 1 seed in their division, which means now they will have to play all the other 1 seeds across the NFL, which means they have the 3rd hardest schedule in the league. So I just don't think out of division, the Bengals will win enough games. The Ravens, on the other hand, have the 3rd easiest schedule in the league. They get to play the Jets, the Jags, the Giants. They get to play all these, tire fire teams, and their record's going to get super high. I bet you the Bengals probably finish with a better in-division record, but overall the Ravens will have a higher overall record, so they're just going to win that division straight up just because they have the better record. So give me the Ravens at plus 145 to win the division. Is my 3rd favorite line in that one. Next up, we're going to head over to the NFC South, where we're going to take the heaviest favorites to win the division in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, another situation where they're just the best team in their division. There's no reason to think why they're not going to just win the NFC South again. The Saints are the only team that has a legit shot to, maybe snuff them down in this, but again, they're not going to win enough out of division games, I don't think, for the Saints to have to keep up with the Bucs. Obviously, Tom Brady's still running that team, so not a whole lot you need to really talk about there for the Bucs to win their division. And next up, for our last pick in this parlay, we'll head over to the Colts in the AFC South to lock up this 5-teamer here. when it comes down to it, I really decided that they had the best quarterback in this division. I think Matt Ryan, of course, he's been an MVP in the past. He's been on a really bad team with the Falcons the last couple of years. I think he's better than Ryan Tannehill. He's better than Davis Mills. He's better than Trevor Lawrence. As a quarterback right now, right? He's won't be in the long run, but Matt Ryan is probably the best quarterback in this division. They have the best offensive line in this division. They have a killer defense. Probably arguably the best running back in the league. A lot of weapons for Matt Ryan. It's new juice for Matt Ryan. He's gonna have a new shot at taking over a team. I just think they have the best team in this division. I think they'll finish as like the 4th seed or the 3rd seed overall. Whoever ends up falling out of that, probably 4th or 3rd in my opinion to finish in the end of the year's rankings for the AFC playoff race. But I think the Colts have a pretty solidly wrap up this division. Titans again are the only team that's going to give them a shot. And again, Titans got worse, the Colts got better. It's about additions and losses in the offseason when I'm coming to evaluate your season. So this is going to be our 5-teamer here. Okay, again, it's Bills, Eagles, Ravens, Bucks, Colts. Now I think this is a lock. I don't know why this wouldn't hit, outside of injuries happening and stuff like that. So when I'm going to look at this here, ignore, obviously my insufficient funds. I haven't put anything in there yet. So you're gonna get this parlay at +1 or 1853 is what you're gonna get this at. Obviously because you're choosing, a future bet. So you're gonna get it super juice. Sorry for the notifications if they come here. I'm going to elect to put $15 on this bet to get a payout of $293.02. So nearly $300 for this to play out. Picking super heavy favorites in their divisions that I think that are gonna really win their divisions quite handily and easily. So this is my favorite overall futures bet that I'm going to be placing. Again, putting 15 on this to get 293 out of it. Loving this 5-teamer a lot. It's my favorite one. And next, we'll do an all-division parlay where I pick all 8 division winners. We'll put a little bit less juice on it, but we still get a massive payout. So we'll go ahead and head over to that 8-teamer next. Okay, next up we've got this 8-teamer. Now this is one I'm just kind of doing for fun. I just decided I wanted to do a giant parlay where I pick all 8 division winners to see if we can get them all right. We'll pick with everyone that we have gotten before, and we'll start at the AFC West here. Looking at the AFC West, this division is literally up for grabs. I mean, the fact that, the top 3 guys are within 100 in value, I mean, it just kind of tells you it all. No one really knows who's going to win this division. That's why I had to look outside of division to kind of look at who their schedule was. And the Chargers, I think, in my opinion, had the easiest out-of-schedule division. Again, this Chargers team also got better. They added Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson. Justin Herbert's going to be a year better. They have the best roster in the division, if you're asking me straight up. So I'm just going to take the Chargers. Again, I think this is the division that's probably going to bust this parlay anyways, because the Chargers have a shot, the Raiders have a shot, the Broncos have a shot. They kind of really all have a shot at it, really. It's just going to come down to whoever wins the most out-of-division games, honestly, in this one, because they're all probably just going to go, 3-3 in division, honestly. They're all probably going to win one, take one. It's going to be a tough division in that AFC West. That's why I didn't even touch it in my original division parlay. But if I had to pick a winner for this parlay, I'm going to go Chargers at +230 there. Next, we'll head over to the NFC North, where I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to win this division. I've talked about it a lot. They're my sleeper team this year. I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to be the 1 seed in the NFC, and they're absolutely going to crush it this year, and they're going to take a lot of people by storm. The Minnesota Vikings, for a very long time, have been held down by Mike Zimmer, a defensive-minded coach. Defensive coaches in this league, it's been shown, year after year, don't win anymore in the NFL. It's all about offensive guys, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, these kind of guys that, they pump out the offense, right, when it comes to that kind of stuff. Not only did they add an offensive guy, they added the guy that just had the Triple Crown winner on offense. They added the Rams offensive coordinator, Sean McDonald, to this offense. To the team. He is now the head coach running this offense. He's going to let Kirk Cousins rip. If he just won a title last year with Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins, believe it or not, are very even statistically when you're looking at their careers. He also now has Justin Jefferson at his disposal. I think Justin Jefferson is going to have a massive year. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a massive year. They've already talked about using Dalvin Cook way more than they have in the past. Dalvin Cook was already kind of a top 5 back in the league. I think they're going to absolutely crush it. Packers have a lot to figure out. Aaron Rodgers really doesn't care about football anymore. Give me the Vikings to win the NFC North there. Next up, give me the NFC West division winner. Again, this is a lot like the AFC West. Don't really know who to go with here. Looking outside of division, there wasn't a whole lot of really love. It's really between the Rams and the Vikings, not the Vikings, the Rams and the 49ers. Seahawks, obviously, no shot. Cardinals, realistically, probably no shot. You know, they're going to have without DeAndre Hopkins for the first couple of weeks. So I'm looking for a healthier run here to have more wins towards the end of the year, obviously. But I'm going to take the 49ers. I think, you know, they've gotten there with Jimmy Garoppolo in the past. You know, Trey Lance is better than Jimmy Garoppolo as far as his potential and talent. There's no reason to think why Kyle Shanahan can't get him ready for the regular season to go ahead and win this division. I don't love it. That's why, again, I didn't pick these in my main parlay. But just give me the 49ers there to win that NFC West. And that will pull together all 8 teams here. Now, obviously, I'm not going to put $15 on this. Obviously, it's probably not going to hit. Just going to put $5 on this. But because the value is so crazy, you're getting this at plus 56,886. Insane value, obviously, because it's a huge futures bet. But you just put $5 on this bad boy. And if by somehow it hits, you're getting 2,008, nearly $3,000 out of this. If, you know, all these connect here. Obviously, a lot crazier one to probably hit. But it's one that, you know, if it does hit, you know, you get crazy value and you really didn't put that much down for it. So, $5 down on that for nothing too crazy. You know, you never know what could happen at the end of the day. I just thought I'd put that together just for fun because you never know what could happen there. All right, next up, what I'm going to do here, next with my futures bets here, is I'm actually going to do statistical leaders for the entirety of the regular season here. Now, here's how I'm going to attack this, okay? My favorite one that I'm going to be betting on, that I'm going to be putting a pretty good amount of juice on, give me the rushing title here, okay? We'll head over to the rushing title here. You're looking at the list, okay? And I think there's legit only 2 guys that really have a shot at winning the rushing title. It's Derrick Henry and it's Jonathan Taylor. And it's really not close. You know, they're giving, you know, Vegas is saying maybe Dalvin, Nick Chubb, Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell's going to split carries. No shot he gets this. Nick Chubb, you know, there's a shot. You know, if anyone could do it, it would probably be Nick Chubb behind that offensive line. And, you know, the controversy quarterback right now. If there's anyone that's got a shot, it could probably be Nick Chubb. But in that division in the AFC North, he's got to go through the Ravens. He's got to go through the Steelers. It's tough, you know, when he's got to play those teams 4 times a year and trying to get a lot of rushing yards against those kind of teams. So here's what we're doing here. This is my favorite statistical leisure future bet here. You're going to get Derrick Henry at plus 600 odds, okay? We're going to put 15 down on Derrick Henry here. 15 down at plus 600 odds to get us 105 payout here. Again, Derrick Henry, I know people think he's getting old, he got injured. Derrick Henry is the King Henry for a reason. Derrick Henry will now be the main offensive production for this offense. This offense just lost A.J. Brown. This offense just lost Julio Jones. What are they going to do in return? Run the ball more. Why would they not, right? Derrick Henry, it took the rest of the league last year 4 weeks, a whole month to catch up to Derrick Henry last year. And that's with A.J. Brown, and that's with Julio Jones and the receiving core. Now they don't have that many weapons at the offensive end. Really, it just comes down to Derrick Henry. They are just going to feed this man the rock. I said on TikTok earlier this year, I think he's going to break the rushing title this year. He would have done it last year had he not gotten injured. So I just think they're going to absolutely run the ball through him. The other reason I really like this bet a lot, look at his division. He gets the Jags and he gets the Texans. That's 4 games where he's absolutely probably going to get 200 games a pop or 200 yards a pop there. He's probably going to get 1,000 yards just against the Jags and just against the Texans. He always terrorizes that NFC or AFC South division. Always has his entire career. I think Derrick Henry is a clear-cut favorite to win that. That's why I'm going to put the most juice on him. But I'm also going to put 15 down here. Sorry, again, if I'm getting notifications. 15 down on Jonathan Taylor, okay? Now, Jonathan Taylor, if I had to choose a guy that was probably going to get it outside of Derrick Henry, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, he's running behind a really great offensive line, too. I just don't think they'll run it with him as much as they did a year ago because now they have a really confident quarterback. They don't need to run it like they did a year ago. We put 15 down on this, so we get a payout of $71. Again, you guys are probably thinking, whoa, you're kind of racking up the bill here a little bit, right? It's $30 down on 2 guys. Again, 2 guys I really think that are the only 2 that really have a shot at winning this rushing title, having the most rushing yards this season. If Derrick Henry hits, we get a 105 payout. We're not even thinking about how we burn $30 on one of these 2 guys. It's an investment. We're investing that these guys are going to hit, so at the end of the season, we can get a big payout for it, okay? Same thing with Jonathan Taylor. If Jonathan Taylor hits, we've already made our money back for the bets that we're putting on these running backs, right? And again, they're the only 2 guys I think that really have a legit shot at it. So I'm going to put $30 total down on 2 guys to win the rushing title, and that's between Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor at plus 600 odds and plus 375 odds. It's my favorite season leader bet that I'll be doing for this futures bet. All right, next up, we're gonna head over to the receiving leaders. Okay, now receiving gets a little bit crazier because there's a couple of guys I really think kind of have a shot at this. Okay, Justin Jefferson, we're gonna throw in here. CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and I think Davante Adams is a real dark horse. I really don't think with the addition of Allen Robinson, like Cooper Kupp will have anything like he did last year. Again, like I said, he just lost that offensive coordinator that just fed him the rock last year. So I don't think Cooper Kupp, he could get it, but I really don't think he's got the shot. So just like how we did with Derrick Henry, we juiced him up a little bit more. I think the clear-cut favorite to win the receiving title is going to be Justin Jefferson. We're going to put 15 down on Justin Jefferson. Again, this isn't what I normally would do. I'd put more on the guys that are lower and less on the guys that are higher because they're probably going to win it. But I have all the faith in the world in Justin Jefferson this year to get the receiving title. He's at plus 800 odds, 15 down to win 135. Like I was just saying a little bit ago with their parlay, division parlay, they added the offensive coordinator that just gave Cooper Kupp the triple crown. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp's a great receiver. Justin Jefferson is way better than Cooper Kupp is, physically wise, speed wise, route running wise. Justin Jefferson is going to have a monster year. He's going to have 2,000 yards receiving or something like that crazy this year. I know I'm already saying that, Derrick Henry's going to have a huge year. Again, it's the perfect situation for Justin Jefferson to fall into to get the guy that just got a triple crown winner with Cooper Kupp. I think Justin Jefferson goes crazy this year. I think he's the clear-cut guy. Kirk Cousins is a more than capable quarterback of giving him the ball. So give me Justin Jefferson there. Next up, I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb, and I'm going to put 10 down on CeeDee Lamb to get 110. CeeDee Lamb is going to be the clear-cut number one guy there. Amari Cooper no longer there, and a bunch of injuries in that for the Cowboys and the wide receiver core. CeeDee Lamb's going to be the guy throughout the season as long as he doesn't get injured. So I see him getting the most targets in this pass-heavy offense that the Cowboys like to run.
But he was very limited. He's in the best shape he's ever been in. Now, it is still a fact. We go as Zeke goes.
Dak Prescott's a guy who's always towards the top of the league as far as passing yardage leaders. So I'm really liking CeeDee Lamb to have a huge year this year with the loss of Amari Cooper. So I think the combination of having Dak Prescott has shown in years he can be a league leader and passer and kind of have a lot of passing yards in that offense, with the combination of the fact that they're probably going to be down a lot of games, so they're going to be passing the ball a lot this season. Give me CeeDee Lamb as my second favorite guy there to win the receiving title. Next up, we're going to go with Jamar Chase here. The reason I don't have Jamar Chase higher in this list, we'll put him down for 10 for 120 at plus 1,100 odds. Give me Jamar Chase here. The only reason I don't have him higher is because I think there's a lot of weapons around Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow really spreads the ball out pretty well. He did have 1,500 yards receiving last year, which is kind of nuts. But again, it kind of helps when the Baltimore Ravens are super banged up and he got a free 200 yards there, whatever he got versus the Ravens, and he had a huge week versus the Chiefs. I think he'll go back down to earth a little bit, but if there is a guy that I think I would be willing to put money on to get another title here, it would be Jamar Chase at that spot. He had a big year last year. It'll be tougher for him to have as many yards again this year versus that Ravens defense. He'll have to play 2 times a year, and again, a tougher schedule. He's gonna have to play, the guys like Jalen Ramsey and stuff like that. So, give me Jamar Chase to be my third favorite there. And our dark horse is gonna be Davante Adams. Only gonna put 5 down on Davante Adams, and this payout gives us $65. Again, relax here. You're thinking, whoa, Latham, you're putting 40 down on receivers here. Justin Jefferson's probably going to win this title. He gets us for 135. CeeDee Lamb wins it, we get 110. Jamar Chase wins it, we get 120. You guys kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm just stacking the value on all those top guys. Someone's going to win it, and I'm not betting, I'm not betting $100 on the top 10 because not everyone's going to pay out $100. You know what I'm saying? So I'm picking the top value guys, throwing even value on just about all of them, juicing a little bit more on some guys, and one of those guys is going to hit, and we're going to win back way more than we throw into it, if you see what I'm saying here, with my investment type method here. So yeah, give me Davante Adams at just $5 at plus 1,200 odds. A lot of weapons around Davante Adams with, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. Those guys are going to take receptions away from Davante Adams. But I'm kind of interested to see how Derek Carr and him work out. He's obviously shown in the past he can absolutely run up the receiving yards and rack up the catches, but I'm just willing to throw $5 on him just in case something crazy happens. He'll pay us out $65. So again, we're betting $40 total, but all of these guys win us way more than what we put down. So that's going to be my receivers bets. And I have one more BetMGM bets that we'll go through here. It's going to be the passing leaders. So let's get right into the passing leaders. All right, and our last one, we're gonna choose our passing leader for the upcoming season. Now this one gets a little bit more complicated. I'm not as confident in these ones as I am with the rushing leader and the receiving leader. I got 4 guys that I'm really liking that I think have the most highest chances to get this. Give me Justin Herbert, give me Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Dak Prescott as the guys that I think have the biggest shots at winning this passing title. Okay, Justin Herbert is going to be my obvious favorite here. He's Vegas's favorite to win this as well. Threw for 5,000 yards in just his second year. And again, another team that I really am liking a lot. I'm putting 10 down on Justin Herbert here. The value is not as good at these quarterback positions. It's because the competition's a lot closer, right? So they can't juice it up as much as the other guys. But Justin Herbert's going to be my favorite guy here. 5,000 yards passing in his second season. I think he was just behind Tom Brady last year. Again, I didn't look straight at it, but I know he threw for 5,000. There's not a bunch of guys that threw for 5,000 yards. Got all the weapons. Got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. He's got the guys, Austin Eckler, to throw the ball out of the backfield to Josh Palmer. He's got so much weapons. Really good offensive line. Great offensive coordinator. Great head coach. He's just got a lot of weapons. He's got an incredible arm. I really think he's going to crush it this year. Doesn't have too difficult of a schedule. He's not played in too crazy defenses this year, so that's another reason why I'm really liking him a lot. So give me Justin Herbert as my favorite. We'll put down 10 on him to get a payout of 80. Next up, my favorite behind Justin Herbert is going to be Tom Brady. Obviously, not $800. My bad. Putting 10 down. 10 down on Tom Brady at plus 850 odds. That gives us a payout of 950. Really liking this one a lot. I think, again, I should have looked probably before I got into this, but I'm pretty sure he won the passing title last year. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and he adds Julio Jones. Leonard Fournette's pretty good out of the backfield. Got a great offensive mind. Obviously, he's Tom Brady. Got a lot of weapons around him. I think if there's anyone where it's just a safe bet, if you only wanted to place one on anybody, it would probably be Tom Brady. He's the safest bet. At plus 850 odds here, we're going to pay it of $950 or $95. So I'm liking Tom Brady a lot there for that passing title. Next up, give me Patrick Mahomes at plus 800 odds. We'll put down 10 on Patrick Mahomes as well for a payout of 90. Patrick Mahomes loses Tyreek Hill, which makes a lot of people go, oh, the Chiefs probably not that good. They locked and loaded, okay? They added guys like Justin Ross. They added Sky Moore. They added Juju Smith-Schuster. They're giving him weapons. He still has Travis Kelce. I'm liking the chances for Mahomes again to have another huge year passing the rock around. Just because he doesn't have Tyreek Hill, he loses that off the top ability. But Mecole Hardman, they talked about it. Mecole Hardman's kind of just as fast as Tyreek Hill is at times. So I'm still liking him. He still has his deep shots. They added more receivers. They still have Travis Kelce. I'm still liking him to still be up in that range of top league passers. So it's a safe bet to throw some more on him in case he does end up winning that title. And our dark horse is going to be Dak Prescott. And I'm only going to put $8 on Dak Prescott just to get us over that $100 hump for Dak Prescott here because I think he's a dark horse. I believe in his career he has led the league in passing before. Again, like I said, they're going to be down a lot this year. They're going to be passing the ball a lot. In the past already, Dak is always kind of another guy like Patrick Mahomes is always kind of towards the top of the league as far as passing leaders. CeeDee Lamb and Dallas Goedert, kind of his two top guys. Once he gets his guys back healthy, once he gets back these guys that are injured, he'll have more weapons. He'll start to shoot up that passing yardage total list up, and he'll start to shore up that list. Sorry. So these are the 4 guys I'm really liking as far as winning the passing yardage leader, having the most passing yards this season with Justin Herbert, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Dak Prescott. Guys like Matthew Stafford, again, you lose an offensive coordinator like that, you're probably not going to have as much offensive production as you did the year before. Joe Burrow, they run the ball a lot with Joe Mixon as they should. They shouldn't just pass the ball with Joe Burrow. They should probably run it a lot with Joe Mixon because he's a pretty good, great running back, honestly. Derek Carr's a guy, like I said, with Devontae Adams. I think Derek Carr has a shot, honestly, but not worth me putting my money down. I really think it's just these 4 guys that have a real shot. Aaron Rodgers could be a guy that really gets up there and can make some noise. But again, a lot of stuff going off the field for Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson could be a guy that has a shot. Kirk Cousins for sure. But I'm liking these 4 guys. That's why these guys are a little bit more messy with the passing leaders. But give me those 4 guys as my favorite passing. All right, and this very last one, Kay, is going to be from PrizePicks. I'm not promoting PrizePicks. I'm not saying to use PrizePicks. But I have people have asked me, my thoughts on a PrizePicks year parlay. So here's what it is. Throw it up on the screen right here. I've got Justin Herbert over 4,700 yards passing. Again, I think he'll touch 5,000 yards. I think this is an easy play for Justin Herbert over 4,700 yards passing. Next up, this one could be the crazy one, but give me Russell Wilson over 4,100 yards. 2 times in his career. 3 times in his career, he's thrown over 4,100 yards, okay? And one time he had 4,024 yards, so he just missed it by, 76 yards there. He has never had the weapons like he has before. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, Albert Ogawabini, or whatever that guy's last name is, Javonte Williams. He's got a lot of weapons. This is the most offensive talented team that Russell Wilson has ever had in his career. He's going to have a monster year. He'll throw for over 4,100. Pretty confident in that for Russell Wilson. Next up, it's got to be Derrick Henry. 1,300 yards. Are you kidding me? I know people think he's going to decline because of his injury. He's getting old. Athletes these days are not athletes of the past. LeBron James is playing the best basketball in his career and he's 38 years old. That's how it's going to continue to be for the rest of history. Guys are going to continue to play better as they get older because of advances in medical science, athletic science. Derrick Henry is going to be fine this year. And like I was saying earlier, they lose a lot in the passing game. So Derrick Henry is going to get fed the rock. Give me just 1 second. I'm actually going to look real quick. Hang on just a second. Okay, yeah, so Derrick Henry will be next up on this list at 1,350. I think it's a massive steal. 1920, he went for 1,540 and obviously 2,027 yards rushing. And through 8 games last year, just 8 games, he was averaging 117 yards a game and had 937 yards through 8 games. I don't know why you would think that he doesn't get that this year. I think if it wasn't for Justin Herbert, this Derrick Henry over 1,350 would probably be my favorite bet. In 2020, they gave him the rock 378 times. He's going to be close to that again, guys. I'm telling you right now, that offense has nothing to pass to. He's going to get the ball a lot this year. Then give me Justin Jefferson over 1,350. Like I've already talked about through the course of this video, now has the Triple Crown winners offensive coordinator. Kirk Cousins, very capable quarterback. I think 1,350 for Justin Jefferson. I don't know why they've set that line so low for him. There was a lot of guys just in last season not naming Justin Jefferson that all had well over 1,300 yards receiving last year. In his rookie season, he had 1,400 yards receiving, and in his second season had 1,600 yards receiving. So he's never in his career, which is just 2 years, gone under this line. So there's no reason to think why he would go under that line randomly when he gets a better offensive coordinator, better head coach, better, more offensive schemed coaching staff. There's no reason to think he's going to go under on that. And then Jamar Chase, they've got him at 1,250. He had 1,500 yards receiving in his rookie year, broke Justin Jefferson's record. So I'm liking these two guys a lot. So give me Jamar Chase as well over 1,250. Again, I do think that Burrow spreads the ball out a lot. He won't get as many yards as he did last year because of the Ravens' improvement in the secondary. But I still like the chance for him. He's still a really talented receiver. Not quite in the top 5 category. Like I know it's been a big conversation this year, but you can't be top 5 after just one season. But I still think he has a pretty big year. Joe Burrow's still a talented quarterback. He's still going to get slung the ball a lot. So give me Jamar Chase over 1,250. So this would be my 5-teamer, okay? Or 5 play here, 5 pick. Justin Herbert over 4,700 yards passing. Russell Wilson over 4,100 yards passing. Derrick Henry over 1,350 rushing. Justin Jefferson over 1,350 receiving. And Jamar Chase over 1,250 receiving is a solid 5 pick here that I think I would throw together on Prize Picks. Again, I'm not promoting Prize Picks, not saying to use it. I know people have asked me for this Prize Pick parlay, so I'll throw it up on the screen here. That's what I would do on Prize Picks. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap this up here. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. $128 bet, that's a lot of money. Again, it's an investment. If even one of these, outside of the passing leaders, if one of these hits, CeeDee Lamb wins the rushing title, you already made back $110. Say Justin Herbert wins the passing title. If CeeDee Lamb does that and Justin Herbert does that, you've already made $200 back, or $200. So you've already made a plus value profit of $60 from the beginning of the season. It's 128 down on an investment of what you think is going to happen between these guys. Again, I really have a lot of confidence in my division parlay. I really like the Prize Picks parlay that I've thrown together as well. It's just trusting the process here. It's a lot to put down, but it's getting value back in return. And again, this is just what I'm doing. You guys can totally do whatever you want. If you want to put 38 on just Herbert, and you want to put $60 on Derrick Henry to win the title, or $30 on Justin Jefferson, or $100 on Justin Jefferson to win a title, that's all great. You know, the more you put down, the greater value you're going to get. And again, if I had to say who's going to do what, I'd say Herbert, Derrick Henry, and Justin Jefferson are probably going to win those statistical categories unless they get injured. And so that's why I have other guys as well. That's why I've picked other guys, because you know Justin Jefferson could get injured, Justin Herbert could get injured, Derrick Henry could get injured. But that's why I picked these top guys, because I think they're the best guys that have the chance at it in case something does happen to one of these other guys. But loving this division parlay. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really was super excited to put this together. Since I have the opportunity to bet these futures bets this year, I've really been researching them and making sure I've got the best combination of